Welcome back, class. Yesterday I was talking about comprehension. I just gave you all a brief about it. So, today I'll be talking in detail about comprehension, right? So, let's begin. We are taking the same example as of yesterday. So, you see here that in this passage, paragraph 1, the word has been written in bold and has been underlined as well. Similarly, in this passage, paragraph 3, alien has been bold and underlined. Paragraph 5, its face. Paragraph 7, its condition. These words were highlighted, that is, made bold and underlined, so that it's easier for you all to find out the words for question number A, part 2. Alright, where you all had to make the sentences using these words unchanged in form but with a different meaning. Alright, if you want to read the passage, if you haven't read it yet in the previous video, so you can pause the video and read it thoroughly. Moving forward, this is the question paper. Alright, these are just the questions A part 1, part 2, B and C. These are only the question structure that you will receive in any of your examinations, or when you have to write, like summarize a passage type. Comprehension is not only limited till class 10 or 12. You have to summarize passages every now and then. Like in college, you all are given bundles of notes, but you cannot learn the entire thing, right? Cutting off the important points and learning only the important and essential parts is really important. So, summary part, that is section C of the question paper, helps in that. Being talking about section A, part 1, it says given below are four words and phrases. Find the words which have similar meaning in the passage. So this is helpful because, like, you cannot use the same words in a passage again and again, or in a sentence again and again. It sounds very annoying and very, like, what to say, prompty and distracting. Right, so when you have to use the similar meaning words, like I've been unknown about it, type of. So, like writing unknown in a paragraph or in a short description multiple times will become very annoying for anyone, be it the answer script checker or be it your client, anyone. All right, so instead of that you can use different word like alien. All right, it's just a similar word. You can use another word also if you have in mind, like I didn't know, that is also unknown, right? So using the same word again and again is very like it doesn't look good. That is why, alright? So this will help you in your day-to-day lives, obviously, or in your careers, because it is a little professional using different words but of similar meaning, and yet not annoying the person reading it or listening to you, alright? Now let's look at part 2. How will this help in your day-to-day life? For each of the words given below, write a sentence of at least 10 words using the same word unchanged in form but with a different meaning from that which it carries in the passage. So it says that you have to use the words unchanged in form, meaning this word, you cannot use it as words, or you cannot use alien as aliens, or face as faced, faces, facing, anything, condition as conditions, etc. You cannot change the form of it. You have to use it exactly in the same form as it is given, but with a different meaning from that which it carries in the passage. Meaning, the word as it meant in the passage, you cannot write the sentence that you make with the same meaning of this word. Alright? You have to use a different meaning, like completely different meaning. Alright? Like alien. You cannot use like out here in the passage, alien meant unknown. Right, so you cannot use the sentence that you'll be making. In that, you cannot use the word alien as unknown. You can use the word alien in a different way. Like guess, NASA is trying to figure out whether there's an alien out there or not. That is a physical body, right? That is a physical existence about something that is not unknown, right? So that is why that is what this is all about. Like, this will help you learn the meanings, like different meanings of the same word, and you can use it in a very professional and fantastic way in your day-to-day life. These are not just for your passage and your written English stuff. These will indirectly help you in your careers. That is why I am making you all do this, or else I wouldn't have asked you all to do this. Many of you all had queries why to do all of this. How is it gonna help? Like, these are all school stuffs. No, these are school stuffs. These could be school stuffs, I would say, but this will obviously help you improve your English far more than what you think. All right. So moving on to the next section, that is number B. Answer the following questions in your own words as briefly as possible. Like, suppose, how can this help? I'm telling you that. Suppose you're into a conference meeting. You have to go to the conference meeting in around half an hour. All right, and you've got the documentation ready, you've got everything ready, you have got the presentation and everything ready. All right, documentation is a very detailed document of the project that you'll be presenting. All right, it's very detailed, so if you're working in a very basic thing also, then also your documentation reaches around 50 to 100 pages. So in the presentation, obviously you cannot go on blabbering up to 50 to 100 pages, right? That's very unprofessional. So, all you have to do is just speak to the point, brief, and make your clients understand what you want to convey. So, who, what, why, when, how. These are the things that you have to pick out from your thick documentation and say it in your presentation. Presentation should be quick, fast. 5 minutes you've got, or 15 minutes you've got, you have to complete your presentation within that time. You don't get even 1 second extra. So, this part helps you in sorting out from long stuffs as to what is brief, what is precise, and what is to the point. You don't have to exaggerate or explain everything. Alright? So I hope you all understood how and why these things help you. So let's look at the answers. Though I showed it to you all in yesterday's video, let me explain it to you all further. Look, given below are four words and phrases. Find the words with a similar meaning in the passage. So unknown was alien, as you read in the passage. Satiated was gratified. Okay, gratified was there in the passage. So satiated was gratified. Destroy was devoured. Disregard was contempt. Look, now after this section, A part 1, after this section, you all know at least four words with similar meaning but different words. Similar meaning but different words. See, this is how it helps. Now you can use these 8 words with similar meaning. These 8 words with similar meaning in your different sentences. Try and use it in your day-to-day life, writing your journal or posting a status or anything. Try to use these. It will help you all a lot. It will take you all a step higher to your English pro, to achieve your English pro level. It will take you all a step higher. Alright, now let's look at A part 2. For each of the words given below, write a sentence of at least 10 words, meaning the sentence shouldn't be less than 10 words, using the same word unchanged in form but with a different meaning from which it carries in the passage. Alright? It is said not less than 10 words because who knows, someone might write, I like this word. I like this word. Just four words, right? Those are kiddish sentences. You have to make long sentences so that you know how many words you can incorporate in a sentence. How many words have you learned so far? How many things can you like experiment with? How many words can you experiment with to make a beautiful sentence? All right. So let's look at number one. It is word. She was a true friend in all senses of the word. Look, I didn't make the word the words, etc. Right? It is unchanged in form. It is word only. But the word carries a different meaning here from what it was in the sentence. Now, next one is alien. The girl felt like an alien in her own house. Look, now here alien is not unknown. In this sentence, alien is not unknown, right? So, so you see it is not changed. It is not changed in form and it has a different meaning as well. So, number three is face. He had to face main hardships before he became successful, meaning he had to go through a lot of hardships when he became successful. So many of you weren't aware of the word main, I guess. So look, these are activities that make you learn more new words, more new sentences. Hardships is hard work, and face remained face, but the meaning of the word here changed. You see? And then condition. The doctor said that his friend's condition was stable after the operation. So you see, condition word has also not changed, but the meaning has changed. The form is the same, but the meaning has changed. Alright? Now let's move on to the next section. That is, answer the following questions in your own words as briefly as possible. Who is the great chief in Washington? What does he intend to do? So, as the great chief in Washington, you have sent us a word that you wish to buy our land. All these were in the passage, but you don't need to exaggerate so much, as I mentioned earlier. Be to the point, precise, and just don't make it a lengthy answer. So, the answer of this one, sweet and simple, short, will be the great chief in Washington is the president of the USA, full stop. That's it. Who was the great chief in Washington? This is the answer. Full stop. He intends to buy the land belonging to the Red Indians. That's it. To the point, precise, short, and simple. Over. Next one. Why does Chief Seatel feel that the land can't be bought or sold? Chief Seatel feels that the land can't be bought or sold because he and his community do not consider themselves as owners of the land. They regard the earth as the mother and therefore consider the land as sacred. Well, I've repeated the sentence here. Kindly ignore that. I've just repeated it so that you can understand the concept, but you can just write from they regard the earth as the mother and therefore consider the land as sacred. Alright? Consider the land as sacred. That's it. From themselves to therefore, if you don't write, also your answer will be correct, short and simple. I just wrote it this long so that you can understand the concept. Alright? According to Chief Seattle, how does the white man treat the earth? According to Chief Seattle, white man does not regard the earth as its mother, but as its enemy, and therefore after conquering one part of the earth, he moves on to the next part. So you see, we didn't have to write about all the details that was explained in the passage, summarized it, brought it to a very small context, and presented it. Alright? Sweet and simple. Short is always sweet and simple. Keep it as short and precise as possible. Moving to the last question of section B, that is, all things are connected. What does this mean? All things are connected means that there is an interconnection, connectedness between man and other creatures. If all other creatures vanish from the earth, human beings would die of loneliness and the benefits they get from them. If other creatures suffer, men will also suffer, and in turn, the entire earth suffers. So, you see, we didn't have to compare and contrast and write all those long, long sentences that is there in the passage. Just be precise to the point. I'm telling you again and again, just be precise to the point and you'll rock it in life. So, coming to the last part, please pay attention now because I know it's been a long video today, but please pay attention. This is just the last part. So, discuss in about 100 words how Chief Seattle's letter seems to plea of an environmentalist. And in the bracket, it's written paragraphs 6 to 13. It means you have to refer paragraph 6 to 13 to find out the answer of the question asked. Failure to keep within the word limit will be penalized. Meaning, if you exceed more than 100 words, there will be a penalty. Either your entire passage will be crossed out and you will be given a 0, or if the answer script checker is a little lenient, they'll cut half your marks only. Right? You have to stick to the word limit as much as possible. Try to like maintain the word limit, and also you cannot afford to write less than 95 words. You have to try to stick to the word limit as much as possible. All right, and then you will be required to write your points in the form of a connected passage in about 100 words. Meaning you cannot write this sentence here and that sentence there. Meaning you have to go sequentially, and you have to write it in such a passage that the reader understands that it is a passage. It hasn't been shortened from some other stuff or something. You have, meaning the reader shouldn't understand at all that this is a summary of something. It's a general passage. The reader should feel that. And try to stick to 100 word limit, obviously, and you can't go off the topic. Like here the question is how Chief Seattle's letter seems to be the plea of an environmentalist. So you have to answer only this section. In the passage from paragraph 6 to 13, there might be points which is irrelevant to this topic. So try not to incorporate that, and if you incorporate that, obviously you'll be exceeding your word limit because 100 words is less for even this, like 100 words is really less for this question, right? So try to stick to the topic as much as possible. Let's look. So I shortened it and made it like this. Chief Seattle's letter seems like a plea. Alright, ignore that like, it became a capital letter by mistake. Chief Seattle's letter seems like a plea of an environmentalist for whom the land is not just a piece of earth, but something sacred. He says that he is ready to accept the white man's offer and sell his land on the condition that he would treat all creatures of this land as his brothers. He believes that since all the creatures share the same air and water, they are connected to each other, and a destruction of one world leads to the destruction of the entire earth. He pleads to the whites to love the earth as they do, meaning as Chief Seattle and company does. Alright, so you saw I answered only whatever was asked. I didn't buffer around, I didn't beat around the bush or anything. And yeah, I used the table 10 by 10, 10 rows and 10 columns, that makes it 100. And that gave me a quick decision of it's 100 words or not. Because I didn't have to count the words repeatedly to make sure that it's 100 or not. Alright, so you can use this table format as your rough work and submit your fair work as the passage to me. All right, whenever you submit another passage work, all right, that'll also help you understand how, like, that won't waste your time also, literally, because counting the words becomes a mess sometimes. So yeah, thank you so much for joining in. I hope you all understood how this will help in your day-to-day life and you all stop taking this as a burden. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining in. And I guess I won't have to make any more videos on comprehension, but if you think you need another video of your query rectifications on comprehension, please do let me know. I'll definitely try to solve your queries. Alright? Thank you so much.